Love, exciting and new.
Hello, Hannah Waddingham here. Have you seen the fabulous new Sun Princess? World-class entertainment, exceptional dining, and the greatest pizza ever.
It's a love.
Don't miss our Come Aboard sale with up to 40% off and free room upgrades. Visit princess.com or call your travel advisor to book. Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Offer ends 2/28/25. Ships of Bermudan and British Registry.
This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet.
Bob, how are you? It's so great to hear you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Steve. Sorry for the delay.
Oh, Bob, don't worry. Don't even think twice about it. It's no big deal. Years ago, very late in the process, the Red Sox signed J.D. Martinez, very late, and he turned out to pay big dividends. This time they signed Alex Bregman late in the process. What were your thoughts on that signing and where he fits with the Red Sox?
No, I thought it was a great move. I think Bregman wanted to go there all along. I think, when these teams are jumping in, he didn't want to go to Detroit. I think he's using the Cubs to up the leverage there and get a little more money for the Red Sox. But he has been talking about it for a while, like, hey, I'd love to play second base for the Red Sox. And I don't know why the controversy now with Devers not moving. I mean, that was never the plan, and certainly, Bregman's embraced, switching positions. And I think he'll take advantage of the Green Monster and have a big year. And then we'll see if he opts out and they want to, keep him and give him a longer-term contract like he originally wanted to. He really wanted a 6 or 7 year deal, and really the only team offering those 2 6-year deals were, Detroit and Houston.
In fact, Alex Cora, who had him when he was at Houston, thinks he can be a pretty good second baseman in all this. How important was that Cora knows him and understands him?
No, I think big. I think, Trevor Story was trying to recruit him over there. I just think, hey, being part of that franchise, they're knocking on the door. Why not play for the Red Sox? Try something different. I just don't think he wants going to Detroit, wasn't the stadium for him. I think he wasn't going back to Houston. I think he was a little offended by the offer. And also something bothered him, and whether it's the manager or front office or what have you. And but yeah, I think he'll have a blast there. And, like you said, he knows Cora and respects him an awful lot.
Right, so the next part, I want to ask about Shohei Ohtani getting back to the mound. What is the Dodgers' plan to get him back on the pitcher's mound after he was exclusively a DH last year?
Yeah, I think we're thinking, sometime in May, maybe late May. I think they'll baby him all year, make sure he doesn't get hurt again. I don't see him throwing more than 100 innings, if that. He still had that shoulder surgery from the World Series, so he's not even going to hit here for another 10 days or so. So they'll take their time. And they don't need them. I mean, they got 8 or 9 other starters too.
Bob, was there a signing or two that you felt in the end has the potential to be really an underrated signing that pays dividends? Who might those guys be?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It wasn't underrated signing, but I think with the Diamondbacks reaching out and grabbing Corbin Burns, I thought that was a great move because they could lose Zach Gallen. Probably will lose Zach Gallen the year in free agency. But, yeah, if you're going to beat the Dodgers, you want to beat them in a short series. If you can throw Corbin Burns at you, followed by Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly and Roderick Rodriguez, you got a legitimate chance. I thought a great move. I'm surprised the Yankees or Mets didn't jump on him was Christian Walker, who went to Houston, the 3-time Gold Glove winner, fabulous clubhouse guy. I thought Arizona made a mistake by letting him walk away. But I think he's really going to help the Astros. I think as far as the just the mid moves there, I like that one as good as any.
All right, so what about Nolan Arenado in all this? He's been sitting there. What's your thoughts on him and what could happen with him?
Well, I think you just got to wait for they got to wait for an injury to third baseman somewhere, or someone say, "Yeah, I'm desperate to have the guy." And they're going to give him away. Just want to pretty much dump the salary, so everybody's going to know he's out there in case you have a problem. So I think in hindsight, if you ask Nolan, he probably wishes he had taken the Astro offer. And but at the time he says, I'm just not ready to go there. I might later on, but not now. And maybe he should have gotten the Angels too. I think kind of vetoed that one early on. So we'll see. I mean, I still think he'll definitely be gone. Early in the season. I don't see him being there to the All-Star break.
They acquired Paul Goldschmidt. They acquired Nolan Arenado. The Cardinals did. Is this now a change in philosophy for St. Louis as to how they want to go about building their team?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're trying to rebuild. They try to call it retool, refurbish, whatever you have it, but that's a rebuild. And, if they could trade Sonny Gray, they would. They've got no trade clause. They'll trade Holsley, their closer, at some point. So, no, that's it. It's a straight rebuild for sure.
Okay. So the Dodgers, once again, have spent a lot of money, but the Mets spent a lot of money. What kind of message do you think Steve Cohen is, A, sending to his fans, but what's message he's sending to the industry?
Well, he's pretty much telling the Mets fans, hey, I promise you we win a World Series in 5 years, and is getting close to that point. And, hey, I'll use my own money. I may lose $200 million, but I'm going to use my own money to get this team a World Series championship. I don't think they really want Alonso back. The fans want him back so bad. And said, okay, we'll grab him at this price. Throwing that kind of money at Soto. It's one thing to throw $700 at Ohtani. Ohtani makes up for it in ticket sales, merchandising, everything else. Soto is not going to sell $765 million worth of merchandise and tickets. So, yeah, I mean, he's doing everything possible. Obviously, the Dodgers are a gold mine. I mean, they're raking it in. Whatever they spend, they could spend more if they wanted to. They could have a $1 billion payroll. Just all the advertising and endorsement deals they have, but particularly the Japanese companies, which upsets other teams. Other teams are saying, wait a minute now, we can't compete. Even the Yankees were complaining. So it'll be interesting 2 years from now what happens.
It's interesting you mentioned the merchandise part because I was in Los Angeles to do the Penn State USC football game, which coincided with that Friday night that was Game 7 of the National League Championship Series. And the Ohtani merchandise on sale in the streets outside of the Crypto.com arena, not Dodger Stadium, it was just 3 miles away. I was taken aback at how much was for sale and people were buying. It's amazing the domino effect that he has.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Dodgers are Japan's team now. People I talk to, they say, go over there. You might have seen it, Steve. It's like 85% of people there wear New Balance shoes because that's what Ohtani wears.
Yep. That's exactly what I was seeing. New Balance all over the place as we were walking downtown going to restaurants. And, again, the merchandise was just lined up in all this. Where do the Yankees sit? You referenced the Yankees in that answer that even they're complaining about the Dodgers, which Steinbrenner did. Where do you think they sit in all this right now?
Well, they're sitting pretty. I think they're better off not getting Soto, to tell you the truth. They're able to, go get a Max Fried, trade for Devin Williams, trade for Cody Bellinger. I think they're better off without him. I really do. Now you can move Aaron Judge to right field. I think they're sitting pretty. I think they're certainly the team to beat the American League. It certainly helps the Yankees that all the best free agents seem to go to the National League this winter.
Yeah, which is exactly what they did. Soto's an interesting player. Now, this is me, and you can dispute anything about this. Feel free to. Great bat, great eye at the plate. Maybe the best right now. But I always kind of felt he was an okay base runner, and I kind of feel like he's no better than an okay outfielder. I mean, how do you view him?
I think he'll be a DH in 2 years. I really do. Maybe 3 years. I think he's a forward defender. Arm's fine. He's good arm strength. Not a good base runner. Great eye at the plate and stuff like that. But, I think these walks on base percentage gets way overblown. It's like he's not Ricky Henderson. He's not stealing second. He's not stealing third. And in a lot of cases, he's clogging the base paths. So the Padres got very frustrated. Bob Melvin said, swing the bat. Guys in second, third with one out. We want you to drive in runs, not, be happy taking a walk and putting the pressure on the next guy who's not as good as you.
Always a pleasure. We appreciate your time so much. Thanks so much for jumping on with us, Bob.
All right, my pleasure as always. Thank you, Steve.
The great Bob Nightengale, USA Today. We'll come back more in a moment here on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Party time, game time, or just fun time. Doesn't matter what time it is because it's Brewers Outlet time. The beverage supermarket has the area's largest beer selection. Imports, microbrews, ciders, and domestics. Pick from over 100 ice-cold 12-packs and dozens of 24-ounce singles. Soda, snacks, hot sauces, fresh roasted peanuts. Make it one-stop party shopping, and don't forget the pickle bar. So whatever you're celebrating or just doing it up, Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street, Sunbury wants to see you. And thank you for your years of patronage.